All right, we are recording. So it is the Tribe Redefined and Friends and Co. and all of that team call for, I believe it's Monday. I believe it's March 23rd, but who knows anymore? I don't know when I'll know again. We are in the midst of a strange, bizarre, unprecedented, I keep hearing that word, homebound situation, which for home business owners is a interesting place to be. I've been on calls with my husband before when he worked at Hertz, when there was a flood after Hurricane Sandy, and his company was promoting how what a great time that tragedy was for their industry and how needed they were. And, you know, I've heard my brother, who's in insurance sales, have similar things said to him from bosses. And so I never want to be that person that's like, this is our time. But at the same position, it does give our role as a coach, both in a helpful, positive vibe, good energy kind of person, and in a fitness and nutrition capacity. It gives our weight in other people's lives a bit more texture, I guess, a bit more substance. And it's important for us to understand that and embrace that, and also go about it with tact, and go about it with a serving heart, and go about it with a open mind, and also with a lot of patience, because people are experiencing bizarre, as I keep using that word, changes and shifts and unknowns, and it's going to continue to develop as such. I saw today that Virginia announced that its schools are closed for the remainder of the year. So more and more changes are going to keep happening, depending on where we live, depending on our region, depending on our own particular government, but it's not going to be smooth sailing, and this is going to last for months. The trickle effects of this are going to last for months, both from a health perspective, from a financial perspective, from a social perspective, and it's important for us to be sensitive to that, be aware of that, and insert ourselves appropriately so that people understand we're here to serve. So I wanted to focus in on that side of things. I know that if you joined the new coach call, Jackie and Leslie were talking about Google Forms and leads and how to handle that side of the business. I would like to talk to you about just cultivating relationships when people are homebound and being a source of light and a source of positivity so that they know when they're ready, you are going to be there for them. Quick show of hands if you have signed somebody up this week, either for a free trial, Beachbody on Demand, anything at all, who you've had a conversation with in the past who had said no. Show of hands if that's happened to you before in this like since this has happened. Okay? We have to remember that some people are going to come to us who've known all along what we're capable of doing and that we can help them, and they weren't ready for it. But now their gyms are closing. Now their kids are going stir crazy and all of that. So we have to keep relevancy. We have to stay present. We have to be on the forefront. But we are going to need to do it in a different kind of a way to keep inviting other people in and bringing new people in. Anyway, that was kind of a little aside. So a few things that I wanted to encourage you to do and to participate in. And these are tips as well as things that are happening both in our team, in our network, just in the world in general that we can, how I see and what I've learned just through a couple podcasts and things as a good way for us to make the most of this experience as an experience, not as profit, right? And in the long run, hopefully that helps our business. But if we do so in a way that's kind and giving and not, this is perfect, I'm going diamond because of coronavirus. Like, it's a completely different mentality. Not that anyone on this call would have that kind of mentality. So the first thing that I want you to remember, and everyone knows this, I'm sure, is that Leslie has organized our recess every day at 11 a.m. Eastern time, which is such a cool thing. I am unable to participate most days because my school day runs until 12. But when I've been able, if my kids are finished with their school day, I can turn it on, and it's just such a lovely godsend. I've also talked to moms in my neighborhood about it, in my own Facebook community within my neighborhood, other moms groups that I'm a part of, my own close friends, teachers of friends of mine who have small kids at home. So just because I can't be visible on that doesn't mean that it's not a resource that I could be sharing with other people. just because you can't use something doesn't mean somebody else can't use it. So whether you're sitting here, you know, for example, Teresa, I know has shared this opportunity with other people. She does not have kids at home who want to participate in recess. I don't think. We could ask Brady, but I think he's good. I think he's fine. But that doesn't mean it's not a resource she can't utilize. So think about that as well when we're talking about these things, that just because your family can't benefit from it doesn't mean someone in your following isn't going to benefit from it. Another thing that has been made available to us are new power hours on the Beachbody Champions page every day at 4 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. Pacific time. So figure out your time from there. I meant to be on one today and I didn't even know it was 4 o'clock until it was like 4:20. So I need to put that in my calendar, put an alarm set on my phone so that I can participate in those every day. It's an awesome resource. Our company does a great job of feeling the temperature of the world and doing what it can to show up for us. And I believe tomorrow is Danielle Natoni, so you know it's going to be awesome because she is a goddess. It's unreal. Another thing I want you to remember is our 14-day free trial. And I know there've been some questions going on in Team Fit Dynasty in particular about how to get to that. I know all of you know how, but in case anyone watches this recording, the 3-month membership leads with that 14-day free trial. Remind people, yes, you have to put in your credit card because on day 15, they will charge you, but we will go through those 14 days together. I will create a calendar. You can do Clean Week, whatever you want to say to them to get them in for those 14 days. And then you can proceed from there and tell them, I will be in touch on day 12 to make a plan, or I will be in touch, whatever you want your plan to be. And assure them that they will not be charged unless they determine they want to be, and you will help them pick the best package because it's that credit card entering that sometimes gets people a little wonky. But with that in mind, we have all of the free workouts. I know Leslie has an awesome document with the free workouts. I took the one Stephanie shared and I edited it for my own self. I put my Google form in the front of that for people to request information. And I've been sharing that with people as a freebie and as just a conversation starter. So anyone who likes some of my fitness posts, like, here, you can try that workout and a bunch of others, and just sharing it with them. I used to ask, and now I'm just sending. I don't really see the harm in it at this point. Everybody's in a bind. Everybody's looking for something that's going to make them feel better, whether it's just something they can turn on so their kids will leave them alone, whether it's a little slice of solo time in the morning, a sweat, whatever it is. Everybody's looking for something. So just sharing that is definitely helpful. The kids' workouts are also free. And I keep seeing people, I didn't even know were Beachbody coaches in my network, like in my Facebook feed, sharing about this. They are all finding this to be the most fascinating thing that Beachbody's ever done. I've never seen them post about a workout or anything at all, but suddenly, like, the fact that the kids' workouts are all free is really enticing to them. So it must be enticing to the people that are following me. So it's something that I need to be doing more talking about as well. Sharing the recess opportunity, but also if you can't make that, you've got all of these workouts that your kids can do at any time. And they are still offering the free month of Portion Fix or To Be Minds, the monthly fix, and what the other thing is called, Mindset membership, with a challenge pack purchase this month, which is a really nice add-on. So though it would cost them something to join in, it's a nice freebie that can give them the tools and encourage them. If you're home right now, this could be something you can do for you. You can dial in a little bit of time. I've seen a lot of people talking about enrolling in online classes. This is a chance for them to do that and to gain some knowledge. It doesn't mean that they're going to be sitting home eating To Be Mindset or Ultimate Portion Fix right now, perhaps, when our food is kind of a little strange, but they can learn the tools to help them make better decisions while they're home and learn the tools that can help them apply that as they move forward. So that's just general team network stuff, which I thought was important. But some of the things that I thought were really necessary for us to do, there's 5 steps or 5 actions that I would like you to try to take every day. The first one is to have a free non-fitness, non-nutrition resource that you can share with people. I happened to post about my tracker the other day and I got so many messages about it, and I didn't think about it being something I could share. I just took a picture of me with my tracker, and so many college students and like random people that follow me were interested in that. A couple of moms who are now homeschooling, a couple of colleagues of mine who, like one colleague, we use the same lesson plan book that we like made it ourselves. We put it in a binder. She saw that. She goes, I need that. She goes, my lesson plan book is not working for me. So I posted about sending that out to people for free, and a lot of people took me up on it. So coming up with some sort of resource that is not fitness, not nutrition related, that you can be sharing with people and talking about. It could be, some 10 awesome, like I've been seeing Jackie post about Legos. So, 10 cool Lego pyramids your kids could try to build. The 5 best websites for kids online to keep them busy with art projects. I don't know. You can think of something. There's definitely something that you have. Perhaps it's not necessarily nutrition related, but you have the 3 recipes that you love to freeze, and maybe you want to send those out. It's not, I'm talking about Ultimate Portion Fix. It's just here's something helpful for you. So think about some sort of free non-fitness resource that you could be sharing with people to get eyes on you. And so people see now's the time more people are watching our stories, more people are watching our posts. Let them see that you are more than sweaty selfies and shakes, right? We are more than those things. The next thing that I want you to do when you're connecting with people, whether it's people who are watching your story, new followers, new likes, just ask them how they're doing and or how you can support them. So if it was a new follower, a new like, I've just been asking, how are you doing? I am really struggling. Am I alone in this? Like that kind of conversation is honest and real. This is not the time for you to be like, hi, I don't know if you saw, but I'm a fitness coach. If anyone's looking for fitness and nutrition, I'm your girl. It just feels so inauthentic and so disingenuous, which means the same thing. I don't know why I use both of those words. And it's important for us to be just as in tune with what's going on as our company is being. Don't be tone deaf, and ask them how they're doing. And if it's a person who you've had conversations with before, or it's a person who's liked a bunch of your stuff and you know each other in a social media sense, just ask, how can I support you? I asked that to a few people today, and some people just said prayers would be nice. Keep your humor coming. Like all that little stuff that's not necessarily what I would have thought to respond if someone asked me that. If someone said, how can I support you? I'd be like, bring me coffee and a babysitter. Like that would have been my answer. But I, it's just nice. And not one person is like, I need those free workouts. I need to learn that shake recipe. And that's okay, because we're having real, genuine human conversations. So don't be afraid to ask people how they're doing and how you can support them. I received more responses to that than any messages I've ever sent ever on any given day. Like very rarely was I ghosted because of that kind of message. The other thing I want us to try to strive to do every day is to share some sort of humor. Be funny. Find a funny meme and put it out there, whether it has to do with coronavirus or not. I found this clip from John Mayer last night that was so hysterical. I need to watch the whole thing because I just want to get the gist of it before I share it out, because it was long. But it had me like, it had nothing to do with anything. And he was just talking about his bedtime routine and why this tea is the best tea. And it just was so not anything to do with anything I've been thinking about. And it was exactly what I needed. So it's okay. Share the light, share the funny, whether it's related to what's going on or not, because people are going to know that they can count on you to keep it real, to keep it honest, and to keep it light once in a while, because we're all going to need that. With that in mind, every day, look to post something that's helpful. I know we talk about value-driven posts all the time, but it's more important now than ever. Teresa's amazing at sharing from her book every single day. This is when we do that. Leslie posted about a podcast that Brene Brown had yesterday. I didn't know Brene Brown had a new podcast. I've listened to all of them. I mean, there were like 3 episodes already, but I listened to each one. And I didn't know that until she posted about it. So sharing about PD, people need this. And for a lot of people, I hate to break it to you. I mean, I know you know this is true. I'm being facetious. We are their personal development. We are. They're not sitting home reading books and listening to podcasts, but they're reading our posts where we share one tip from Chalene Johnson, and that's their PD for the day. So continue to be that for people. Continue to share that with them. One day they'll get the itch and go listen to the whole podcast themselves. But in the meantime, you are bringing value, and you're bringing a sense of purpose and a sense of direction in a time that's so out of everyone's bounds and out of everyone's control. So please, please, please be funny and then be helpful. And the last one I want you to think about is to embrace JOMO. Embrace the joy of missing out. Talk about some of the ways your life has shifted as a result of this for the positive. For example, I shared the other day that I'm reading my absolute favorite book. It took me my entire last semester of college to read it. It's the most difficult book I've ever read. And I figured, what the hell? I'm going to read that again. I also sat on the couch today and watched a full episode of Sister Wives without interruption. And I enjoyed my life. And I shared about that. Like, it's okay to show you are slowing down. We've got our routine. You guys are good about that. I don't have to add that number 6 to share your routine. You're already doing that. But share the ways you're slowing down. Share the ways you're dialing things back. Share the ways that you have an ongoing game of Beachbodyopoly like we do that ended with everyone in tears tonight. Everyone. Not one of us, except for Mike, wasn't in tears because he owns everything. Everything. And he has houses on Joel. I'm very upset, but we'll get to that another day. Okay. But share the ways that your family, you in particular, your employers, your colleagues, your neighbors, how everybody is slowing down and embracing the joy of missing out on the go. A colleague of mine shared a meme today in our teacher thread. And it was 2 pictures. It was like people staring at their phones and then people out riding bikes and like going for runs. And it was like people normally, people under quarantine. And it's like how no one has told us like we can't use these, but suddenly we're like, get away. And we just want to be outside and we want to live and we want to look at our friends and look at our family. And it's kind of a really neat thing. We are embracing what we've been missing out on, continue to embrace that, continue to celebrate that, and continue to share that. In all of that, the fitness and nutrition will come. In all of that, the ways we can support each other and support our community and support our neighbors, it's going to come. But just be the light, be the humor, be the wisdom, and it's going to make people come back to us because we're not the CNN or Fox News scroll. We're not the political posts. We're not the complainers. We're not the whiners. We're the bubbles on Instagram that they want to click on because they know it's going to be a positive slice in their day. And it's going to give them all of these things, these human emotions that we're going to be kind of difficult to tap into when we're not physically around one another. So continue to be that through the screen, through your computer, send emails, check in on people, send them texts, do this for the people you know that are on social media, do these things for them through email, through text, pick up the phone and call somebody and share a funny story because you felt like they needed to hear it. Be that light and it's going to come back to us. And this is going to be a moment for us to embrace what we have, what we've learned to be as coaches, what we've learned to be as human beings, what we learned to be as moms and teachers and employees. And people are going to continue to look to us beyond this and not just now. So those are my thoughts. I don't know why, but that's where my brain was at today. I haven't listened to the National Wake Up Call, so I apologize if I'm very repetitive of it. I'm just drinking my pumpkin spice here and living my life. But I wanted to open this up, guys, if you want to. I'm going to unmute you for anything that you have found has been helpful, any changes you've made, any tips you might have that I did not provide that can help us just kind of maneuver this situation before we get into our action item. So I'm going to quickly unmute everybody. So the mics are yours. Except for those who are not unmutable by me. I can't unmute you, Leslie. You've locked yourself in. It's okay.
How do you even do that?
Fine.
Because mine does too. Maybe, I don't know.
I didn't mean to.
You know.
Sure.
It was Phoebe.
Mommy.
Careful, please.
Remember,
I
said
think.
I want a snack and you
Oh, somebody
took
did.
me one.
I was like, I couldn't see who was talking because Phoebe was in front of your face. I'm like, where's that coming from?
I think just checking back in with all the people that haven't kind of joined your accountability groups, all the people that are already signed up with you, that I've gotten a lot of people that have jumped back in or have emailed me or have asked me questions about stuff now that things have changed. So just reminding them that you're there to help them is a great way to just reconnect and, show that you care.
For sure.
I also think going back into Coach Office and just all of your past customers, like export that email list and send out an email, however you do it, is so important just to touch base and say hi and ask how they're doing and let them know and send something,
Yeah, And do those things that we talked about, like
Yeah.
in those, you know, it doesn't have to all be in one email, but get a conversation started.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else? Hi. I'm just happy I can see everyone on one screen.
Each one.
I love it. Oh, I didn't see the photo.
And definitely when you're doing powwows, power hours, you know, like when you're on Facebook and you're on Instagram and watching people's stories and maybe they're going through something, and just making sure that you're reaching out. And I use that resource so much on Facebook when somebody's asking for something, and just private messaging them and not doing it on their wall post. And it means a lot to them too.
Something totally random, but what you just said, Teresa, reminded me. I am sure a lot of you are in neighborhood Facebook groups and trying to create engagement in there, just with ways that you can help. Like a woman had posted the other day about a book she wanted to read, and I happened to have it, so I put it in my mailbox. She came and got it from my mailbox. We have these little neighborhood scavenger hunts we're starting. We're creating a puzzle exchange, just like little ways that within your general community that you can socially distance safely. And, you know, almost like Teresa's saying, when people are needing something, reach out to them, but assume people are needing things that they're not articulating, because some people just don't even realize what resources are possible for them. So anyway, anyone else? Okay, then I would like you to go to your oldest story, the one from 23 and a half hours ago. If you're Leslie, it's probably, you know, but you have stories from 20 hours ago that none of us probably have. But I want you to go to that story. Even if you've interacted with people on there today, I want you just to ask people how they're doing. And if anybody has a story present that their bubble is up, view those stories as well. Just interact, just say hi. We're not sending invites, not sending links. We're not sending freebies right now. We are just asking how they're doing, seeing how their day was, giving them some kind of love or positive vibe, or just letting them know that we're thinking of them and we are there for them. And we'll just take this till 9:30. So 5 minutes. I think that's worth it. I'm going to stop the recording because that's always awkward when we're just sitting and staring. Please.